again, I'm begging you, boys, to just call Bobby first when things happen.
Bobby deserves financial compensation for the trauma he went through, the psychological trauma those boys put him through, just in this episode alone. Like, he deserves the $46,000 that Bella steals at the end should have been donated to Bobby. Like,
good cause.
Someone should be paying Bobby child support.
Bobby is fed up and horrified by their incompetency. Dean describes Bella and gives Bobby her alias, Bella Lugosi, and her
Bella
alias
Luigi.
Lugosi. Bella Lugosi was a super early days horror actor who played Count Dracula in the 1931 Dracula and Igor in the 1939 Son of Frankenstein. He's also in the 1935 The Raven, based on the Edgar Allan Poe story. He's like a very typecast, like early days horror actor.
He was buried in his Dracula.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Go big or go home.
We'd love to see commitment to the bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby recognizes the name. He's met Bella Talbot a couple times. I would like to know more about those, please. Why do we not have those flashback episodes of Bobby and Bella dealing with each other? Because I can just see Bobby being very fed up with her.
I would love to see Bella interact with Rufus, actually.
Oh
I would love to see that.
Bella's apparently been in the Middle East as far as Bobby knew, but he's like, I might be able to track her down. And he tells Dean to look out for your brother, you idiot, which IMDb tells me is the first time I've heard Bobby say idiot, which sounds wildly untrue. Like, we're on season 3, and we've had Bobby since the end of season 1. That seems like it's been too long, but okay, if IMDb says it.
Does he? That's crazy. I feel like he would have said it in Tall Tales.
At least once, because they were being idiots in that one.
I think he might have said morons, but...
Oh, maybe. It's been a
also,
while.
even though Sam is literally currently cursed to die, the way that Bobby tells you to look after her feels 1,000% less pressure than any other time that John said it to Dean. I'm like, Sam's literally like actively kind of dying right now, and it still feels like less of a threat.
Yeah.
Sam has spent this whole phone call trying to scrape gum off his shoe, and his shoe falls into a storm drain, and he's just so defeated at this point in his one sock, and I feel bad for him.
His frown is like a perfect upside down semicircle as well.
You know?
It's just dedicated. Yeah. He wants to be sad on the outside, too.
Like, my face doesn't even do that. I'm like...
It's such a shame this podcast isn't visual.
We're very funny people.
Then we get another scene where Dean is left the conversation with Bobby, and then he's back on the phone with Bobby in a different phone call. Bobby has tracked Bella down. She lives conveniently in Queens, the same state that they're in. Like, she's still in New York, so like that's convenient. About 2 hours away, so you know, a good 4-hour round trip. You know, 30 minutes for traffic and guns stand off at gunpoint.
Well, maybe she thought it was convenient too, and that's why she did the job.
Maybe.
So her like apartment is like aesthetic. Like, I love her apartment. Like,
yeah,
I want it.
Incredible.
Oh yeah, she's classy.
I mean, we immediately find out though that there's a reason she has such a nice apartment. It's that she's a good businesswoman. She's bringing in the money.
Not gonna lie, a show that follows like Bella like flying around the world, like conning people into stealing shit for her, like, and selling it off, sounds way more interesting than whatever the fuck the Winchesters have going on. Like,
see, okay, that's yet another side character that needed their own show but never got one.
I'd also pay to see Missouri, and just like all of her psychic sessions, like a weekly like show where each week like she's dealing with a different client.
Do I have to add another side character to my list of fan fictions I'll never write?
Yes. Dean's gonna stash Sam at a motel, which I don't know why we don't like get Sam closer to where we need to be, but it's fine. Whatever. Do the full round trip. I don't know, like drop him off like 30 minutes before you get there. I don't know.
I'll drop him at Bobby.
And that's out of the way.
Bobby's
I feel
nowhere
like.
near New York.
Yeah.
Knowing his luck right now, he would burn the place down and we
I'm like, that's adding like 8 hours onto it. By then, like,
at least it's really far to Bobby's from New York State, but like I don't know. I was like, why are we driving all the way there and all the way back? Like, why don't we just like drive like partway there?
You know what the boys really need? They
Sam
need like a fucking RV like bloody Greedy has. Like,
yeah, that is literally my next note. Like,
it's so much more practical, then they don't have to spend all of this fucking money on hotels and motels and...
Yeah.
You have space for all your Jesus memorabilia?
They'd be able to have more than one bag each because they'd have so much more space. Like, oh my god, it's so much easier. And like...
Probably more fuel efficient too, I'd imagine.
I mean, yeah, their car can't be like that much. Like, their car is bad on gas. Like, yeah.
It's a vintage car. Of course it's bad on gas.
I feel like Dean would hate it though, because how many women can you seduce with an RV?
Well, you have somewhere to take them.
That's true. Instead of the back seat of your car. Well, Sam waits outside.
Dean tells Sam to sit down and don't move, don't scratch his nose, don't touch the lights or anything, which immediately makes Sam want to scratch his nose. It made me want to scratch my nose too. I don't like being told not to do something. Bella is in her very nice apartment. She's on the phone with someone named Luke and she's negotiating. She has not touched the foot. She's transporting it via salad tong. She has a very good security system and she sees Dean coming, but when she gets to the door, it's already open and there's a sticky note on her alarm that says turn around. Chef says bravo. Slow clap for Dean Winchester. This is style. This is panache. It is excellent.
This is so unnecessary on every level.
I love it.
Perfect. She does turn around, and she and Dean both pull their guns on one another, and they're both still hot in this scene.
I get it, but calm down.
I think half the reason I didn't like Bella when I was watching for the first time at 16 was that I was deeply in the closet because holy crap, both of them look great.
Mm-hmm.
Dean then ups the ante of his post-it note by going, "You left without your tip." I mean, he's really just the Abbott's foot is not affecting Dean's style at all now that he's away from Sam. He's good now.
No, he's just like this.
He's out of the zone. Bella immediately does kind of want to fuck him. She's charmed. But she's also got $1.2 million on the line, so she's not going to be that charmed.
But it's also kind of in a Black Widow way of she wants to fuck him and then kill him because he's kind of annoying.
Absolutely that. Sam is sitting in the chair still when the AC starts smoking, and then he approaches it cautiously, and it just bursts into flames. And I don't know how that happened, but it did.
It's just bad luck.
He grabs a blanket to put it out, and he catches his own arm on fire, and he grabs a curtain to put his arm out, and he rips it down, it falls, gets knocked out, and then Kubrick and his buddy Creedy
I think this is the first time we ever see there be consequences for Sam having head trauma.
But they're just standing right outside the window, and the curtain comes crashing down, and they just look in the window to see what's that noise, and it's Sam Winchester, the guy that they're looking to kill.
I just want to know what was going through their heads at that moment. That's the Antichrist? Oh my gosh.
Kubrick literally
looks
up
skyward.
And he looks up and he has a little conversation with God that we don't hear.
Mm-hmm.
He's thankful, but Creedy is just if this is what hell is relying on, they're screwed.
That's a good point. If they are we're on a mission from God and from heaven to stop hell. I don't know, Sam Winchester in this particular moment does not feel
doesn't feel like a threat, does he?
That Gordon made him out to be.
The disappointing last level in a video game.
Bella knows exactly who Dean is, and she's there's a very lucrative market for spells and curses and amulets, and any one of them could put their children's children through college, which is such a specific way to measure wealth in North America in particular, and for the Winchesters specifically. And I'm remember when John Winchester spent their college funds on ammo?
So how many of the guns in the storage unit do you think he paid for with their college funds?
So many of them.
I'd say at least a couple of them. We did do the math and figure out how much money should have been the college fund, assuming John actually didn't miss time, and it was a good amount of money. It was $6,000 between the two of them. And Sam was only 6 months old, so John.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean they were in a seemingly single income household in the 1980s. Things were different back then, but they seemed like they were doing okay. And John just was I'm gonna throw all of this away.
God, that man makes me so not irrationally angry. It's irrational because he's a fictional character.
Yes.
My reasoning is valid, but he is not a real person.
Yes, I totally get what you mean. Sam wakes up, duct taped to a chair, and very unhappy to hear that Gordon is the reason that these two are after him.
I love his exasperation in that moment. Fucking, of course it's Gordon. Yeah.
He's the day I leave the Robinson Zoo, these two dudes that Gordon knows are after me. Of course it is. Bella is very aware of the foot situation and that Sam will die if they don't get it back. And she's you can have it for $1.5 million.
That's fair, yeah.
We love someone who knows fair market value.
Yeah. She found the foot via Ouija board, and I cannot believe that this is not there aren't 8 more characters like Bella. This is an amazing way to use the market on old stuff. It's let's summon ghosts and they can tell me where the old valuable shit is.
Why does everyone else do that?
Dean then reveals that he's swiped the foot while they've been talking and doing a whole gun standoff, and he'll be on his way now. But just in case you need to know, he thinks that she's a truly awful person.
But she wears it so well.
It's kind of like the pot calling the kettle black. I'm sorry, Dean. You're not a pillar of, like...
True.
Ethics.
Yeah.
You were about to go to Vegas and cheat people out of their money with the rabbit's foot for your own gain. Like, that's not anything noble. You weren't doing anything good with it.
You're not exactly a paragon yourself, Dean.
Sam wakes up again. This time he's bruised as fuck. He's being interrogated and beaten about the whole demon thing. And Sam's like, I'm not a psychic anymore. I don't know anything. I'm like, it's only been like a couple of weeks since the like demon Hunger Games showdown. And like, that's a little soon to be like, I'm not a psychic anymore.
I would say anything to get out of that situation, though.
That's fair. He doesn't know anything. Kimmick's friend Creedy is starting to get a little bit uneasy about like just like straight up killing Sam Winchester because he does seem like a normal, albeit a little bit stupid kid. Like he did just knock himself out.
Yeah.
Like he's not the threat that he was made out to be. And we're absolutely gonna have to come back to this episode later. I don't remember what specifically it was about that episode, but I wrote in my notes we're gonna have to come back to it later.
Okay. I'll trust your notes.
I didn't write anything more specific about that. I don't know if I was trying to avoid saying spoilers or if I just forgot, and I figured, of course, I'll know what that means. It happens.
They're my favorite types of notes, and like you're just looking at it, you're like, okay, this referenced something that I was sure I was going to remember.
That'll come back to me at 4 a.m.
Who needs Wordle? You can just leave yourself cryptic clues.
Exactly. Dean shows back up, and he like malicious compliances his way through the standoff that's occurring. He puts his gun down and he picks up a pen and he tosses it directly into the barrel of Cooper's gun, which I don't think would stop it from firing, but it is definitely distracting.
It's very good luck.
It's like a myth that like if you like stick your finger or like a pen in the barrel of the gun will like explode.
Yeah, you should not put your finger in the barrel of the gun.
That
I would
sounds like
trust
some
the pen
Looney
more.
Tunes bullshit.
It is some Looney Tunes bullshit, and Mythbusters also said it's untrue.
Well,
you would
there you
lose
go.
your finger.
I literally saw a clip about it on TikTok today, like a clip of a Mythbusters episode where they were doing that.
By extensively collecting your data.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, but like,
That's how they bust things.
Creedy charges, somehow knocks himself out, and Dean throws his cell phone and hits Kubrick in the forehead and knocks him out. It hits him like in the nose, I guess, like the bridge of his nose. And then Sam is woefully unimpressed with Dean's I'm Batman, which is a very, very iconic, but it's certainly not as good as his earlier post-it note work, but it is still fun.
yeah.
Weirdly prophetic, too.
Yeah, actually.
Yes,
Do you think he got the job based on that?
That was his audition.
maybe. Just said that little, like, 3-second clip.
From like 15 years prior.
Yeah.
Jensen Ackles play Batman? Am I missing something?
Yeah, he voiced over
He voiced Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he played Jason Todd, but maybe he played both of them.
I thought he was...
No, he definitely voiced Batman at some point.
Yeah,
I can't
he
remember
voiced
which.
Batman.
But it was like
really
relatively
recently.
recent.
Okay, that's why I haven't heard of it.
The boys are then in a cemetery where Sam is performing Bobby's hoodoo cleansing ritual that he called about earlier, and Dean is furiously trying to finish his scratch tickets while they still have the rabbits, but I'm gonna make this sad now. You're welcome, but you've also been warned.
Before you make it sad, I have a question about the scratch ticket. Because, like, if he had scratched them after they lost the rabbit foot, would they then be losing? So, like, does the rabbit's foot have the power to physically change something?
Unclear.
Because they'd be
bought
the same
them while
scratch
he had
tickets, and they
them.
were purchased when they were left. But, like,
Maybe
that's a
the
good
scratch
point.
tickets would mysteriously disappear on them.
Sort of like they kind of do in the next couple scenes. But anyway, back to making it sad. I'm gonna make it sad first before we get there.
Why?
Dean has won $46,000 in scratch tickets, and he has, give or take 11 months to live. And he's been trying, like, very hard to, like, let's do scratch tickets. Let's go to Vegas. Let's win a bunch of money. Like, he's very much trying to win money. Like, he really cares about it. And I'm like, why does he care? Like, he's gonna be dead in less than a year, and he's been hustling his whole life. He doesn't need money.
so Sam doesn't have to hustle.
Sam will need money.
Because Sam doesn't like to hustle.
Yeah, Sam doesn't like to hustle, and Sam's gonna be on his own in less than a year. Also, Dean has only cared about getting laid for the last 2 episodes. Like, through 301 and 302, Dean's top priority, even in some cases above actually solving the case, has been to get laid. And he pointed out earlier in the episode that he, like, could use the rabbit's foot to do that, and he's not doing it. Like, he has the rabbit's foot, and he's like, I'm gonna win money. It's a very big shift in his priorities. And I'm like, oh, you're just trying to take care of Sam. Okay.
That wasn't
Actually,
as
that
sad.
did make me really sad.
Never mind.
It's like not even 12 p.m. on a Sunday morning, and I don't want to be sad.
He then puts the tickets in his jacket pocket, which he's not wearing, and he gets the foot, and Bella arrives in a very cool jacket. She looks great. Dean starts to reuse the speech that he used to get Bella's alias from Grossman, but before he can get to "you're not a killer," she straight up just shoots Sam in the shoulder, which is amazing.
Okay, I have a thing about this. When she's shooting Sam, she, makes a point that, she can't hit Dean. We know she can't hit Dean because of the luck. But she says, Sam, I can't miss. And I'm and then she's like, oh, it's just a shoulder hit. I know how to aim. But I'm kind of but Sam is so unlucky. It's a miracle